Let's get started. This won't take the full 2 hours, but this is just some basic stuff about how this code camp is arranged, because this is a bit different arrangement than the usual code camps. Let's start by saying, first of all, welcome to the game development project, Finnish Game Jam Code Camp. So, the short idea on this course is that you participate on the Finnish Game Jam happening on next weekend. I hope everyone is already have already registered themselves to Lappeenranta site or somewhere else, preferably in Finland. And the idea is that even though this game jam itself is organized by the student union, so you are going to be on the student union building, on the basement, and the entire event is organized by student union in it. This university is offering a possibility to get credits for participating on it. So you are participating on the global game jam, which the Finnish Game Jam is part of, and this course is part of this Finnish Game Jam event. It may be a bit, difficult to understand, but basically it means that if you participate next weekend on the game jam to make a game or attempt to make a game, it doesn't actually have to be success. Then you just write a report, present your work at this course, and you will also get credits for participating on the event. So I'm just going to give today a couple of instructions on what to expect, what to bring with you next weekend to the student union building, and a couple of ideas on what sort of things you have to do to get these course credits granted. I'm also trying to record this presentation, so this will be available as a video, and these slides will be available as a PDF later on the Noppa system on the game development project course site. So you don't have to make excessive notes or just make a couple of pointers here and there, for example, what you want to do. Okay, so how do you complete this course? This Finnish Game Jam Code Camp is part of the game development project course, meaning that we started with the fundamentals of Unity block on the first and second period, but you can also take only this Code Camp block now. So you will be granted points on the game development project course, and you accomplish this Code Camp by, first of all, being a participant to the Finnish Game Jam Lappeenranta site as a member of one demo building team. You can also make a board game there. It happens so that your design is too complicated to put on computer screen, or you lack, for example, someone with 3D modeling skills, or you don't think that your programming skills are so good that you will be able to present your idea correctly. So it's also allowed that you make a board game. Of course, since this course is organized by the Computer Science Masters program, we would prefer if you made a computer game. But because this course is more about teamwork and design, and we want to ensure that everyone actually gets the possibility to design something and do something, we also accept board games as a game design. So, participate on the FGJ event, and after that event, return a report introducing your product, your game, as a group. It's enough that one person from your group returns the report. And later we have a seminar day in which your group is required to present your game, your game demo, or show how it works, and also answer questions about how would you develop it further and that sort of things. So basically, participate next weekend, write a report, and present a present your game at the seminar day. Quite easy, actually. So, the report has a number of questions. It's about how you made your game, why did you made it, how you end up with your design, especially if you are making a software or computer game. What tools, programming languages did you use? What problems did you have? How did you test your game? How close to the original idea did you get? What was most difficult part of your work, and so on and so on, and a couple of other questions. There's about 20 items here, but it's enough if you answer a couple of sentences per question, so that you give the idea that what you did, how you did it, why you did it, what would you do if you had to continue with the work, what did you learn, so these sort of things, really. Not that difficult. And for example here, as a game developer, do you prefer advanced game engines or traditional tools and libraries for game making? So if you are a programmer, do you want to use these game engines which offer more services but are sometimes quite inflexible in some designs, or do you want to make everything yourself? And why would you do that? Also, did you change your game design during the implementation? Did you do that? Did you want to eliminate some problem? Did you find out that something on the initial idea didn't work? These sort of things. So things that naturally rise from the development work. So I will add you more information on how to write the report. For example, the bachelor's thesis template, which you can use and write your answers in English, because we might have some people on our department or laboratory who might be using those answers to enhance their courses or do something with them to create better courses on game design or game development and so on. So it's important that the people who are giving the future courses actually understand your submitted answers. Anyway, like I said, you only have to give one report and give one presentation as a group. So I don't expect everyone to submit their work. Just collect your group ideas, your designs and your concepts together and write the report as one group. And from earlier years, yes, you can give the presentation in Finnish or in English. I prefer English because we have international students or international participants, but it's also okay to give the presentation in Finnish as long as the report is in English. And all the work submissions, the slides for the presentation, the report are submitted via email to me. So I'm the person responsible for arranging all these things at the university with the course. The init, the people you may have met or heard about when you registered for the site, are the people responsible for providing you with the electricity and the internet connection and all the other things at the event. I am the one managing this course. So, anyway. Well, prepare 20-30 minute presentation. That actually comes also quite naturally. Give a short talk about the things you put in your report. Show game demo if you made a board game. Then give a demonstration play or something like that. It's really quite simple. And also explain to the audience the same things which you explained in your report and demonstration, since we might have people or faculty members or even people from the industry who have not participated on the game jam itself, and they might be interested in your idea or your concept, or they just want to measure out if you are, for example, a good game programmer. This course has been used as a recruiting tool on a couple of earlier years, or at least some people. Usually people who do this game development course, things end up missing from university because they went to have a programming job or designing job somewhere else. or they made a actual game product out of their demonstration version. That also actually has happened twice over the last 3 years. Anyway, every student who is a participant of the group or part of the group is given the grade accepted. So it doesn't matter if you are a programmer, if you are a designer, if you are making the sound effects or something else on the project. I'm not measuring how much you participated. It's enough that you can show me or point out what was the part that you did. Unfortunately, I'm not going to give the course credits to someone who was really good at loading and unloading the coffee machine, or someone who was responsible for running the store and back. But I will, I'm not enforcing any rule on what was your role, that everyone has to do programming work or something stupid like that. No, it's enough if you make sound effects, if you draw things, if you are participating on the designing, testing, these all sorts of technical works all are allowed. I'm also going to be myself at the event, so you can't just add like everyone you know from university, your team, and you have to be registered to some game jam site anyway. So that's one way to see these things. And it's for study credits, and it's a master's level credits, so you can use them in your voluntary courses or, well, wherever you can fit the course module. If there's someone from Saimia participating here, or you know someone from Saimia who might be interested in joining us, it's okay. We actually have an arrangement where people from the University of Applied Sciences right next to us can also participate and get the same course credits. So if you have friends who would like to join you, it's completely acceptable and they get the course credits also. If there's someone from other university or from other University of Applied Sciences, we can make an arrangement, so that's also okay. For example, if you know from work or from your hobbies, someone who's studying, for example, in University of Applied Sciences of Kymenlaakso or in Helsinki region, they can also join you. But we only have a direct arrangement with Saimia, so everyone else have to contact me first. We'll write you a diploma and try to give you some credits that way. Anyway, this lecture, or this day, as it used to be on the earlier years, is actually more about how to prepare for the event. On traditional code camp, it's more or less enough that you show up on the first day and go to the classroom which is provided for you to start working. Unfortunately, because this event actually requires you to bring your own laptop or computer, it means that there's also some things you have to prepare for. Also, because we aren't actually inside university building or in university classroom, there's also some other things to consider. And since we are working continuously for 3 days, there's also other things which come as a surprise to some people. It's not really anything like rocket science or anything like that, but just things that you have to go home to get if you forget to bring them with you. Anyway, so of course, like I said, we aren't doing this in university classroom, so bring your own computer. We might have some Stone Age old replacement computers somewhere around the department, but since our laboratory engineer isn't actually here this weekend, we might not be able to give you any spare parts or loan computers. So bring your own. Also, with that computer, bring all the needed devices and keyboards and other stuff you need with you. This also includes an extension cord, which has to be at least 5 meters long, and provide you with enough sockets that all your computer systems get electricity out of it. Also, if it's possible, or actually it should be required, that it actually has +1 socket, since because the room we are using has quite a few sockets and insert points, so we might have to daisy chain a couple of extension cords together. So keep that in mind. Also, for the same reason, because we don't have sort of a classroom arrangement there, also you should bring your own Ethernet cable, at least 5 meters long. And if you have wireless accessibility by USB stick or something like that, bring that with you. If you have mobile internet access with your smartphone or something like that, bring that also as a backup. We blew a fuse a couple of years ago, which meant that we had no internet access for like a couple of hours, and it was really hindering the teams which didn't have any backup device. So bring with you a backup internet connection if you can. Smartphone is usually enough, but well, you know, keep that in mind. Also, since there's how many? 40, 50? You just checked this morning how many people there were.
Almost 60.
Almost 60 people in the same room. Bring your own headphones. So if you want to listen to music or have any sort of ability to do focused work, bring your own headphones. We might put some elevator music on the background to give some nice mood or stuff like that, but bring your own headphones. Also, really interestingly, this is something that always have to be said separately. You need money. You are going to be working for 3 days. There's a cafeteria, there's a bar, there's lunch restaurant, there's the vending machines at the university. You can walk to the store, so of course you need money to buy stuff. We can't provide you with everything, and you have to eat, you have to, well, be able to sleep and drink something during this time. Which brings me to the other point. Earlier years we have been having sponsors who have been gracious enough to buy us free pizza and buy us some food and snacks and stuff like that. But this year we have a significantly smaller budget on these things. So we might be able to provide something basic like coffee, tea, biscuits, fruits, maybe some ability to make a sandwich or something like that. But in any case, you should bring your own meals. We have a normal kitchen there. So you have microwave, you have oven, you have refrigerator, you have all the basic knives and cutting boards and that sort of stuff. So bring your own lunch. We can't provide you with everything. And of course on Saturday there's lunch cafeteria at the Student Union Open. Also there's a pizza place and kebab place right next to us. And usually we have, on Saturday we have had a pizza run there. Alcohol is not forbidden. We have designed sauna and these sort of things available, so you are allowed to have alcoholic beverages on the premises. You are also allowed to drink them there. But if you want to just get hammered and yell at people, you might as well be home. So we won't allow disruptive drinking, but it's okay to drink a couple of beers while making source code. I know that that's actually fairly usual. But anyway, we will throw out people who are just getting hammered there. So keep that in mind. Also, interestingly, the cellar, especially during the might be actually quite cold place. So bring warm and clean clothes. So if you are kind of chilly, you might put extra sweater on. Also, since we are going to be there, for about 50 hours, you might want to consider bringing a basic hygiene kit with you. We have sauna, we have showers. Of course, you aren't locked in for the 50 hours. You can go to home and sleep and go to shower and stuff like that. But if you want to, for example, go to the designer sauna or design sauna on Friday, you have to bring your own towel because the student union sauna doesn't have any. Also, since there's 60 people, bring your own eating utensils, fork, spoon, cup, plate, so on and so on, because we will run out of them really quickly. And well, the kitchen has something, but it's not able to cater for 60 people. So bring your own, at least bring your own cup and knife and stuff like that for eating and stuff. So what you will be given? Of course, the relatively high-speed internet connection, which has, like I said earlier, failed once, but we were able to fix it. About 1 kilowatt per user power, so enough to power your laptop, enough to power your workstation, or enough to also add a recharger for your, for example, your mobile phone. But if you have this car-sized or building-sized speaker systems or AV systems at home, you might as well leave them there because we won't be able to house everything like that there. Also, of course, tables, chairs, sofas, that sort of furniture will be provided to you, of course. If you want to have your own working chair, you are more than welcome to bring it with you. Why not? It's you who's going to haul it back home on Sunday. Of course, the kitchen, like I said earlier, we have also TV set, for example, to try out games and stuff like that. Some basic hardware, backup, keyboard, mice, some cables, which we will probably be able to scourge around from our department. We can loan you, for example, an extra mouse or something like that. But also you might consider to bring your own backups. And also there's a couple of places where you can go to eat. So for Saturday, for example, you might not even need to bring your own lunch or something like that. You can eat at the student union and then have a late dinner at the Cafe G bar. So, finally, more information about this event. Like I said earlier, this course or this report and presentation is arranged by the university. So, this notepad page considers only or mostly the things about the presentations, about the way to get the student credits, study credits. The INIT is the student union organization which throws the game jam event, so they know, for example, when the doors open and stuff like that. You might want to follow them. The Finnish Game Jam is the Finnish organization of which the Finnish Game Jam Lappeenranta is part of, and this Finnish Game Jam is part of Global Game Jam, which is the international event. So everywhere around the world, in over 100 different countries, in over, I think it was over 600 different sites, people are simultaneously developing demos and stuff around the same really highly abstract theme. Last year it was Heartbeat. 2 years ago it was the Ouroboros symbol, the snake eating itself. It doesn't have to be directly implemented, but design something around that theme. This year's theme, we don't know. It will be given on 5 p.m. on Friday. Okay, so there's also EAR channel in it, which is available for quick questions and stuff like that. If you use that, for example, our university server, you can go there and ask questions. So, what should you learn then? Of course, the programming skills, drawing skills, 3D object work, sound effects, being able to compose music, these sort of things. Well, obviously they are useful since the idea is to make a video game. If you don't have, for example, programming skills or that sort of stuff, it's okay. You can also design and create a board game. But if you want to practice, for example, programming stuff before this event, you might want to go through, for example, these Unity tutorials. There's really simple tutorials for a rolling around with ball types of game, and it also can give you ideas on what to implement on your game, on the game jam. Keep in mind that it doesn't have to be anything spectacular. It doesn't have to be the next Call of Duty Modern Warfare type of affair. It can be something simple like solitaire or rolling around ball in maze or, well, basically anything. It doesn't have to be commercial grade. Of course, we are not insane, so we are not expecting people to create anything really fancy. You can go to the Global Game Jam site, actually, and see the games developed on earlier years. That might also give you a sort of an idea on what sort of scale and what sort of amount of work to expect. There's also a list of useful tools, for example, for making graphics, making sound effects, composing music and stuff like that. You can browse that at your own leisure. Unfortunately, I'm not entirely certain if this list is in Finnish or in English, but at least you can make out the software names based on that list and see which is for which. So, and like I said earlier, if you don't have strong programming skills, or if you are not confident with them, you can also focus on different aspects. We always lack people who can draw stuff. We always lack people who can make sound effects. And finally, if you just want to design stuff and have sort of a prototyping party, you can also work with a board game and then later if you want to, you can first design a board game and then transfer it to computer, for example, for the seminar day presentations. But it's, well, keep in mind that we are not ranking people here. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so a couple of other things. Install the software you want to use before the event begins. If we have 60 people all at the same time trying to download a 2.5 gig installation package for Unity, we will kill the internet connection. So install the software you intend to use before the weekend. Also, if it offers you something like over the cloud or as a service installation or slim installation or whatever, please use the full installation on your own workstation or see that it works offline. We can't guarantee that the internet connection is always crystal clear and perfect or even fast. So do not try to use any software as a service solution. Here it might not actually work. Also something like, well, run the updates and all the other important, do the maintenance stuff before going to Game Jam. I think it was 2 years ago when several people had to, well, basically wait over the bit of a spotty internet connection that their service pack for Windows or something like that installed, and it was actually quite annoying because you can only start when everything is set by the maintenance cycle. And of course, since we allow people to drink and eat at the workstations, of course the person ruining your keyboard or mouse will probably be you yourself, but bring an extra mouse and stuff like that, because people move to different places and there's cables everywhere and quite many people crammed in a small room, so it's natural that something may spill or stuff like that. So try to live with that. So, from earlier years, the site is open 24/7, provided that there's someone present there. We are not going to enforce any closing time or quiet time or anything like that. If you want to stay there, you can stay there. There's no separate guards or any or guarding of stuff or any lock boxes or stuff like that. Nothing has ever been stolen though, so you don't have to worry about that. But still keep your things with you. Do not leave, for example, your laptop overnight there, because there's also people who are not involved with the event who have access and the necessary key codes and the physical keys to enter to the place. So if someone decides to be a bastard, then they will be able to go there. Sleeping overnight is not allowed. I actually asked around for this, and it's a fire hazard reason. If for some reason the building catches fire and it's not allowed to sleep there because no one knows that you actually are there. And if you are a smoker, the nearest place to buy cigarettes after the university cafeteria closes down in Friday, it's 2.5 kilometers away at the stores at Sammonlahti. So you might want to bring extra package with you. In all occasions, if you need help or feel sick or anything, you can ask the organizers. If it's about the student union things, ask in it. If it's about this course, ask me. If you are uncertain which one it is, ask anyone. It's not that important anyway. And on Sunday, please clean your workplace before leaving. So that's just common courtesy really, but still something that we have to remind everyone about. So, I know these legalese things aren't exactly the most thrilling thing in the world, but still we have to at one point explain these things to everyone. But this is actually something that's a bit more interesting, the general flow of events. So what actually happens when you go to the game jam? There's 3 days, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. The day one, Friday, we usually open around 3 p.m. So after that you are welcome to bring your own stuff in, set your workplace up and start to form a group or collect your friends or go to talk with people who you want to work with. There's from 4 to 5 all the technical and instruction talks, not including this one, but for example, if people from student union or INIT or someone else have things to explain or announce, then that happens then. The official starting hour is 5 p.m. local time. It's the official announcement, a couple of words from sponsors, the introduction of this year's theme and keynote and stuff like that. It takes about an hour. And then you can start working. If you don't have group by then just start asking around and join a group, form a group. And as a speciality in this site, we have design sauna from 8 to midnight. Meaning that if you want to go to sauna, talk about with your group if you have a group of friends and if you are comfortable with going to sauna, you can use the sauna facilities at the student union. Okay, so that's the Friday. Saturday is basically development work. So work with your ideas, work with your design, test, try, implement things, rework or revise your design, so to speak. The only thing of importance actually is that the 11 a.m. is the deadline for registering your group to the Finnish Game Jam site. Because at the end of the event, all the developed game demos are collected to this Finnish Game Jam site. So the final hour of registration as a group is 11 a.m. on Saturday. There's a couple of breakfast, lunch, dinner hour, that sort of things. If we have a pizza run or collect or joint order of pizzas, then it will be around that time. So that the people who start the night shift get something to eat before they start to do work overnight. The Sunday, actually really just polishing the code, testing work, seeing that everything works, and finally getting everything done. So the 3 p.m. Exactly 48 hours after we open the doors is the deadline for uploading the games, meaning that you should put your most current version of your game online to the Finnish Game Jam site. Then just creating presentation out of it and doing the final polishing work. And after everyone's uploaded their games, we have local presentations, so giving a short talk about what you did and possibly trying out each other's games if that hasn't been possible earlier. And finally, the Sunday ends at around 6 p.m. by cleaning and leaving at own leisure. You don't have to move the furniture. If you don't want to volunteer for that work, we have organizers doing that. So there's a couple of things that will be put around the place. So you will see these sort of notes there. We haven't had any problems in the history, but for example, there will be this will be put on some notice board. A couple of phone numbers which you can phone if you lock yourself out. And also, because it is winter, it's going to be a cold weekend. If you go anywhere out, you always should take your jacket and phone with you. And also, you take that phone which you gave as your phone number to the site registration with you, or that phone which can read the email address which you gave as a registration. So we can, contact you if there's any problem. Especially at night, also tell someone where you are going. So if you go out for a smoke and it's been 2 hours ago, someone knows to start look for you, and there will be a couple of numbers. The one there is mine. I'm not going to be there for the entire time, most of the time, but not during the night time. But if everything else fails, you can call me. I live nearby here. Also, if something is broken, something is missing, something is stolen, there's unwanted people at the site. People come from the Cafe G bar to have an after party at the Student Union cellar because they see that someone is already there. There's also, there will be a number of the Student Union contact person who can say something. And of course, if you need emergency services, this is the address where you can order them to. LUT Student Union cellar, Skinnarilankatu 34, and that should be enough. Also city of Lappeenranta. Just so that you know. And I can be contacted on the IRC also, and the project report details, all the other things will be put online on Noppa pages. And even though this was 40 minutes of legalese and information and as interesting as sales pitch for house insurance, anyway, we'll see you on Friday, and most importantly, happy jamming, everyone. Thank you.